Okay, are we going? We're recording too. Welcome, folks. Today, I want to talk to you about dragons and infinite stuff. Infinite dragons. So, my name is Helen Sabor. Among other things, I am producing content for Pathfinder Infinite, and I love dragons. So, when Battlezoo dropped their Dragon Ancestries guide, that kind of wrecked my weekend in a great way. Um, I really needed to pick me up right then. And there's 45 dragons, and I've been perusing them, and I created my first one for a campaign, and I'm like, but what can I do this? I've created it, and well, it almost died, so I might need to make another one. But um, what is the purpose to keep making dragons? And I was like, you know what? I've got this wonderful infinite community, people putting together classes and archetypes, ancestries, adventures, everything. And this is a great way to just understand better what's going on by putting it in the context of a character. So hence, infinite dragons. And this week, this first time, I have no idea what the release schedule for this is going to be. I am talking about the Precog, written by James Beck, who is putting out even more content. He put out The Alchemist today. He did The Samurai, I think. Whole bunch of stuff coming from him. The Precog he put together, and I'm going to talk about the Time Dragon. I thought these go together. Oh, I have a hello, Monty the Python. I love Monty Python. I write Arthurian fiction in my day job, night job, midnight job. So I love Holy Grail, of course. Um, what was I saying? So, Precog, looking at the future, and Time Dragon, I thought would be a great mix to go over. I was actually really attracted to the Precog because I am writing as a secondary character a psychic, and we don't have the Dark Archive out yet, so Precog made me think about it. Hint, hint, read Vellum and Lace episode 4, 5, 6? 6 isn't released yet. Um, oh, hi, hi, oh, wow, that alert actually made sense. I'm very nervous. I shouldn't have told everyone, but it's like if I don't hit go, I won't actually do it. Uh, so I said a little bit why I want to do this, why it's fun. Let's jump into the precog first. Now we will see if I successfully did graphics for this right. Like I said, for anybody here earlier, I'm testing everything. Okay, let's talk about the precog. Let's talk about why this thing is cool. Um, this is where we do dramatic reading. Through some cosmic event, you have come to understand the ebb and flow of time to a degree that only such few can. You manipulate dexterously, foot stomp, accelerating, slowing, or even reshaping chronologies to suit your needs. The skeins of pressure to adjust these threads ever so subtly. Your ability to understand the infinite possibility of time. Ooh, this is a good one to start with, infinite. Also shaped you into someone capable of altering the material universe through powerful spellcasting, and you can harness temporal paradoxes to foresee the future and dictate the present in powerful ways. I mean, what's not cool about that? You can change things as they're happening. Um, I guess another reason I thought this was cool is I'm actually a fan of Mistborn, and they do have an element of time stuff in their game. Not that I've ever been able to get somebody to play that, but 17th Shard is kicking off a game, and I really hope they're using the time rules there too, so I can compare. But let's talk about this. I foot stomped dexterously, if you noticed. This is dex-based class, which I found really interesting for a spellcaster. It's not something that I've seen. I am not the most well-read person. I'm enjoying Pathfinder 2. I did 1. But still a little unusual for me to see a physical stat. But I see where it makes sense. We're modifying, which you can't see my hands moving around right here, which is probably for the best. Trying to manipulate stuff. But it makes this really powerful if you want to be a spellcaster and a fighter. But if we look at progression, you're gonna be a spellcaster first. It's just gonna come up there. Um, let's see. So attacks are gonna get simple and unarmed weapons, and those will upgrade over time. So again, if you're gonna go fighty side, you hook yourself up. with some agile weapons there. Dex base, that's good. Expert and reflex, not really surprised at, because everything we're doing is just trying to manipulate and bend around here. Is this scrolling okay? I really hope so. Cool. I'm going to keep flipping back and forth as I learn how to do this. So, in addition to spellcasting, spontaneous caster, dex-based repertoire, let's get into what type of precog can you be. I love these different options. They're called your anchors. They're going to determine, what things you're going to modify at first, your focal paradoxes, and they're going to determine kind of your feat tree for different options. There's so much possibilities here. I could write billions of these. I like to write the angsty characters with a deep past, so any of these could work. For the one that I'm building today with the Time Dragon, I did focus on Chromancy. It almost seems one of the more lighthearted ones. And this one, something from time is influencing you. So I said, perfect, Time Dragon. That would do that. I do like these, maybe some relationship to Pharasma there. Love Pharasma. I need to do more with them sometime. And this one, you're going to be able to start modifying those perception and a skill of your choice. So this is a little bit miscellaneous in a really cool way. Dimensions of Time, I think, is a really fun one too. I mean, that's tapping into specifics. What's going on there? I'm not as familiar with all the dimensions, so some good possibility. But okay, here we go. Doomed future. Something's coming up. Great old ones. Oh, don't go at me into Cthulhu and stuff. I'm so scared of him. But post-apocalyptic. This could be so much storytelling. Maybe I love this class because it's going to be all about the flavor for these characters. Just it's going to set it up, and maybe that means you got to work closely with the DM. But that's gaming. It's great. Fragmented past. Something happened, and it's not quite right. And I know I think we're in a normal time stream in real life, but do you ever get those moments like this doesn't feel? Something's going on here. So fragmented past, that's kind of an interesting way. And this is another one. Skills. You're looking at skills, not just your saves. So you can really build interesting character here, whatever you combine the class with your other, either, your archetypes, free archetype, my friend, your always free archetype, with your backgrounds, with what else you're trying to do to build, what are you going to really modify? The gap of memory loss, that's freaky. I've actually lost memories for a while. Hope you've never had to go through it. It's pretty painful when they come back. Time warped. Oh, man, I did a whole deep dive on Flesh Warp thinking I was going to write something about it. So, maybe I'll go back and do a Time Warped Flesh Warp one of these days. That might be fun. But let's see. And that's initiative checks. I don't go now, I go late. I go earlier or later. If you mess up, it might be still later. Time's still a funny thing, even though you're modifying it. So your paradox, your anchors are going to drive things, but paradoxes they're a resource you're tracking on a daily basis. Based on your key ability score, in this case that's going to be Dex, you're going to be more than minimum of 1. We all know how those works. You're going to pump that thing. So you're going to pre-roll those d20s. And then you drop those in when you have times to replace them. But it's not always going to be the roll. Sometimes you just take the roll, not the result, and use something else with it. But this idea of a pre-roll, you see what's kind of coming in the future, actually put me a little bit in the mind of the investigator. I mean, you get a chance to say, hey, I'm going to make a strategy. That strategy sucks. I'm going to go over that guy. But this is on a broader scale. That said, you can only do this so many times a day. So you got to really pick when's the best time to do this. And I would not get too wrapped up on your focal paradox. While it's going to drive choices, as you look at the progression, you're going to be able to expand into other things. I won't say quickly, but it's going to come up. I think it's before level 10. I know halfway through, but still, you're going to be able to get into those other things. So you're not locked into only doing a perception or a reflex throw. This is actually where, let's see if I can do a screen change here. Let's see. Come on, OBS. Did I do it? So I did say I was building a character out of this. This isn't just me talking about it. Come on, OBS, come through. Yes! Okay. This is my totally lame picker sheet. Doing the full class sheet just doesn't give you a lot of space. But you can kind of see the progression here. Everything in... Oh, I forgot to take out my crib notes. Oh, this is going to be extra fun. Um, Everything in the gray parts are decided. It's only the stuff in white that you get to do. And I was going to say reveal this over time. I guess that's a production thing I will learn next time I do this. But you can see, um, let's see, at level 3, improved paradox, and level 5, greater paradox. So heck, even by 5, you're gonna get all those more abilities. You're gonna get more skills that you can do it. You're gonna get more of your saves. So you're gonna be able to breach that out. So the early ones, that's what you're gonna be focusing on. And then you're gonna get a little further out. It's a spellcasting class. You're gonna get your traditional spellcasting, expertise, mastercaster here. But then this is where in the back half, you're actually going to start to get some fighter capabilities, or fighting. Everybody's a fighter. Some martial capabilities. So in the back half of this, again, you want to do something dex based. You can fight. You can do spells. I'm starting to get maybe like a touch of a magus feel here. Maybe a bard. Actually, this honestly feels closer to a. It's funny. It feels closer to an occult iconic than the bard, but I guess I didn't say that up front. Their spellcasting is arcana, which actually I kind of I really want to go talk with James about. Not talk with James. I just found that an interesting choice. Maybe I'm too up in occult being kind of weird and just the lore of it. And there's a lot of great kind of timey-wimey spells there, but they do overlap. So Arcane Arcana is going to still get you some great stuff. But it feels more occult than certain occult classes to me right now. Um, and as you go along, your choices are really going to be for choices of what feats you're going to do. Maybe let's flip back for a sec, because it's going to be a mix of I'm going to double down on what my anchor is, or I'm going to pick some fun stuff out. And I couldn't help myself with advanced preparation and restore consumables. So let's see if I can flip back to the scrolly page and show you what these cool things do. Okay, that tells you all your stuff. Let's go into feats. Because the whole concept of, hey, you're just ready for situations. Some of my friends have used this in their other games to way too hilarious benefits, but just think about it. If you can see the future, then of course you know what you need. Now, you don't know it in game time till you do, so you just burn some of those paradoxes, and boop, you can get an light item there. You still need to have actually accounted for it. It's not for free. You should have needed the money for it. And then that goes on. There's a later one where actually you can just go and do a time bubble, and some person's gonna make stuff for you. So I couldn't not take that, even though there's probably more efficient things here. I mean, you got some things that are going to get you health, some things that are going to get you past, Death's Door here. Actually, that's another thing to point out. I don't want to go feats one by one, but there are a lot of really cool focus spells here. So you're going to be really sad that focus pools are capped at 3, probably really fast. And it's another resource management thing about this class. This class feels very heavy on resource management for something that probably doesn't have ammo or arrows, or like even an alchemist throwing stuff, because you got your paradoxes per day. You're gonna use those focus spells. You're gonna, like, every battle, you're gonna be like, okay, which one am I pulling out here? Or even between battles, but still, every 10 minutes, you got your normal spells with your dailies. So there's a lot of management, but I think it's really worth it. There's a lot of really cool things here. Okay. Future training, feat level 2. This is really going to drive, I think, what you are. Because we saw you're kind of basic at the start. Yeah, you're spellcaster, but you only have one of your saves as an expertise. You're not trained in a lot. Your only simple weapons aren't. You don't have. I don't think they had armor. other than unarmed? Let me double check. I should figure out how to, oh gosh, what page was I on? Um, yeah, light armored or unarmed. But still, this is mostly trained. There's really not expertise in this. So, future training. This is where you're going to decide what your character is going to do. Aside from your anchors, but right here, the knowledge of the future has given you these proficiencies. And you get to pick two. So, I'm kind of curious how this went in playtest. I'm not sure what my GM would say about that, I'll be honest. But that's neat. Sir, you're going to either up your armor with a medium or heavy, or you're going to up your weapons with martial weapons or advanced. Now, I was thinking about that. As much as martial weapons sounds great, it's like I could probably do fine with simple to go, our agile stuff. But still, this is you saying, "Hey, what am I doing in the future?" And you can even come back and you can't see me pointing at my screen, but nonetheless, you can select this feat a second time with two different proficiencies. And I do wonder, with it structured like this, if you can come back and, just say with a new feat later, if you do even more content on it, hey, more future training capabilities. So I feel like this is where you're going to really pick what type of thing you are. And it was when I read this that I actually got the idea of, hey, how about I compare this with the dragons? Um, because the concept in the Battlezoo Ancestry is that the dragons who've become player dragons are kind of reaching, they're depowering, but they're reaching across their potential for the future and, growing back towards that. So that's when it clicked, Infinite Dragons, let's do this. Um, this is where I'm going to go back. I say that's where you're going to set your class, but I was very stubborn. It's like, I want the special items. So for the one that I designed, but still, I got to talk about that. That's a very important part of this. Oh, hey, yeah, artwork. Do not ignore it. The artwork is very nice. I really love this person. I want to use her somewhere. I have no idea where. I don't know if it'd be casting what she's supposed to be casting, but she looks beautiful and purplicious and is probably going to mess you up. And these sample sidebars are really kind of fun. We have a little bit more flavor with the things and the border on this. So the production value is very good on this too. It's not just a fun class. It's not just a balance class. You're going to enjoy looking at this. You're going to wish you had it in a book. Folks, when are we going to get print on demand for Infinite? Like, oh my God. Um, let's see. I'm going to flip back to my choice-o-meter. Oh, another person, Osiris. Yes. Oh, the dragons. Oh, that's James. Thank you. I'm so silly. Yes. Oh, Sean did the layout. Oh yeah, definitely did. I'm gonna be ashamed and actually, what? I can look at the choice of meter. You guys can look at the lovely, lovely art there while I go over some of the choices instead. That I picked for this one. Oh yeah, time looped and forewarned were the next ones that I went with. So let's get into our level 6 and level 8. Although, really, I almost feel like I should be going back towards where all the focus spells are. Oh, I'm bouncing all over the place. You can see it's the first time I do this. Cannot move forward without talking about level 4 beast spell weapon. Remember I said this has a little bit of martial with your spell casting? I'm siphoning some of that energy from my last spell. Feeling a little Magus-y here. Oh, I'm enjoying my Magus so much. But here, Precog's got a lot of different fun things you can do here. Why not give that a try? Okay. Oh, it's funny. I put time loop at 6. It's a 4th level feat. And this is where I'm gonna have to just bounce back for the different focus spells. Like I said, they're great. You're gonna be really sad you only get 3 of them. What did I put at 8? Forewarned. I so almost read that as forewarned. That's me in my eyes. This is, see, it's very clear about here. But I was like, wow, warning my foes from the feet. It feels like something a precog could do. Nothing can surprise you. You're not considered flat-footed. You get bonuses on initiative. Oh man, on the one level, it's like I'm not getting a new spell or ability, but flat seems to be one of the ways that you just control the battlefield. I know there's a lot of other afflictions, but anybody can work on stuff to make you flat-footed in the beginning of battle. So, and you get to go sooner too. This actually felt definitely worth it for me for designing my precog dragon. And then I think this is where I started to dip into, improving the paradox stuff. Paradoxical acceleration. Where are you on this page? Okay, level 10 feet. Um, yeah, and again, I talked about resource management, and then I made resource management harder for this character. You learn how to burn your reserves to fuel more changes. I'm getting rid of my focus points. I'm getting another paradox. So I'm trading in my battle leaves, my between 10 minutes ease for another daily. Um, that's pretty cool. It's going to take you a while to rest up between those, but if you just section out your day, you know what you're doing. Maybe you're in a battle tournament, and it's all spaced out correctly. That could be really powerful. So I thought definitely a dragon's going to want to accelerate things there. Oh, oh, you're actually writing it out instead of me just going over it. That's probably better. Oh, I thought it was a +2. Oh, hi! Hi, Sean Eldridge Stream. Yes, I love the layout. This is great. Maybe I should just do art streams, but all I can say is it's super cool. I don't know the technicalities. Oh, I'm sorry I misread. I will learn. Maybe I'll edit this with the video editing, but I probably don't know how to. So I will just say, everyone look at the chat and the corrections are all there. Um, we accelerate and we're going to become geniuses with paradoxical geniuses later, but let's look at chromatic flow before we go there. Chromatic flow, um, this was increasing the save DC on a spell you cast during your turn, or for your next action is to cast a spell. Your DC increased by 1. This bonus increases to 2, and then 3. Yeah, who wants to, again, those +1s really control everything. The ability to just buff up. So, I mean, this is great. The more you're casting, the more it's going to come up. Or, well, actually, it's more as you level up, you'll get that ability more. So, I really appreciated that as an ability. It's an interesting meta magic. It's good to get some more than just I widen, I lengthen. That's not the right word. Back it up. Uh, so I thought that one was really neat. Paradoxical genius. Um, we are a master of inconsistency. Oh, I feel like that is my life. You can spiral into an alternate possibilities and powers. Whenever you gain a new paradox from your anchor's focal paradox, you get two instead. Like I said, this whole thing just feels like resource management. So I just give me more. Just find ways to give me more. I probably didn't focus enough on all the cool abilities you get and just like doubling down. Give me this stuff. Because you know what? You cheat. Cheat time, level 16 feet. Granted, again, that's focal spell. Okay, it's probably time to go look at those focus spells, because I think the next one I picked was Time Crawl, which was another, um, focal spell. 18 Time Crawl? Oh, I must have done a typo. I see Times Champion. Oh, and who is this creature here? I'm intrigued. Not just that it's rainbow-rific, but, yeah, I'm gonna be afraid to run into this thing in a forest or whatever. So, let's look at all of those time spells that I've been going on the whole time about. This is great. So, don't stop at the class. You need to see what you're getting through this stuff. Cheat time, I said recently. So let's take a look at this one. Oh yes. So, you can perform up to 6 actions during using within a 3 action time period, but certain ones will end the spell. So yeah, if you attack, it's over. You're done. Maneuvers, though, it looks like you can go through those: disarm, grapple, shove, trip. And what's neat, you can use your key ability instead of your strength modifier. It's higher. Like I said, man, this is so powerful. I mean, you're always going to put everything to your key, but Dex you can use for so many things. So, you're not going to be able to hit this thing. They're going to hit you. That's not a stop one. Attacks are a stop one, but you can maneuver people, make it easier to hit. You can manipulate objects. You need to solve that quick key puzzle something, I don't know, you're going to go right into this bubble, I think, to solve you a little bit more time. You can stride, you can go around, and then the spell, that's another one that's going to cancel. So basically, it feels like, it's a little bit like invisibility. If you're going to take an aggressive action, that's going to bump you out of it. But still, you can do all these other things before you bang out. Move around, do some maneuvers. I don't think it says only one. I mean, I might not be reading well because I skim everything no matter how hard I try. But that's cheat time. Very cool. What was another one I picked up in here? Death's Door, Blessing of Use. You are going to get more healing and speed bonus from that Blessing of Youth. They've grown back. My God, kids are so filled with energy. I got a little guy. I'm hiding from him right now to record this. I wish I had a tenth of his energy. Granted, I probably heal faster. Maybe not. I don't know. And then Death's Door. Well, that's kind of like messing up the other guy. They're taking more damage. You're just reminding them how the life cycle comes at the end. So, so many really neat things here. I loved working on this. I really did almost die Wednesday night. I was telling the GM, I'm like, I got a character ready to go. You haven't read it at all, but I could pop them in. Didn't have to, but this is definitely on the, I think I would definitely want to consider this and use this up. But, oh, shoot, I hit tab too many times. Where am I? Okay. Want to try out list. But, so that's Precog. Really fun. Talk to James about it. Check out, how about I should drop the link right now before I don't. Because I want to talk about dragons too. This is Infinite Dragons. Let's not forget the dragons. I'm going to drop it in the chat. Click. Oh, sure thing. Hey, thanks for putting it together, James. I don't need to, it's easy to be kind when something's fun. Okay. James is here in the chat if anybody else is here and doesn't know and can ask him questions. And I guess when I put this on YouTube, I will do links. Also, come to the Infinite... Oh, gosh, what's the link for the Infinite Discord? I'll do a lot of links when I upload this for real. I promise, folks. First time doing stuff. We are learning. Thank you for being patient that I used your stuff for the learning video. But, like I said, this is Infinite Dragons. Let's talk about our dragons here, too. So that's the Precog. Now, when we talk about dragons, there's something we got to talk about. I probably should re-record this spiel to make it general. I love the Draconic Ancestry book, but it has one big problem. It didn't quite nail the layout, because you have to go to 3 different places to figure out your dragon. And I'm really dumb and have Solar Dragon open instead of Time Dragon, because I'm playing a Solar Dragon in my game. Oh, I don't even have the right screen open, so it doesn't matter. If I do that, no, if I do that, yeah, there's my Solar Dragon. And, are you going to do, and so I want the Time Dragon, but here, let's do a journey. Okay, so I want to see a pretty picture of my Time Dragon. You're going to need to look at this stuff digitally. It's just, because you're going to have to look at 3 different places. Oh, God, too much, because time is another thing. Oh, no, I changed my mind. I don't want to look at time. Oh, God, why did I do that? Any of the dragons that have, a name that's something else? Oh, it's just painful. Okay, scrolly. I will have the page numbers next time I do this. Like I said, I was looking at Solar because of my character that I have in Ruby Phoenix. Okay, so there is in the back the lore. You want to look at the lore. You want to hear what our Snark Master has to say. You want to understand why they're doing the ritual. You want to see a cool picture. There's at least 2 pictures of every dragon in the book, but you want to come here to understand what they're about. But what are they about statistically? Okay, that stuff is explained in the beginning here, and we're talking about heritages. So let's find our Time Dragon. So this is the second place you're going to look in the book. And again, you can't see my hand, so I don't know what I'm doing. We tell you a little bit about it. your knowledge of time and the dimension in which it flows is unsurpassed. So, if there's another precog on the field, you're probably going to scoff at them, and then they're going to roll a nat. They're going to take one of their nat 20s and make the dragon sad. Actually, so having these as antagonists would be really fun. But this is where you find out what the lore is, dimension of time, what the damage is, electricity in the shape of a cone. Why is electric always these? Electric time. It makes sense. Some of the dragons have some really cool breath weapons that, like, evocative, let's say. It isn't that they don't make sense. I'm going to do Edict Dragons next, I think. They have paper. Tells you what your unarmed things and what your ability boosts and oh my god, dexterity instead of strength. You can just crank this thing, and their spells are arcane as well. So I mean, it makes sense for the synergy. They're precog's time. It should make sense. But this is the second place you're gonna look, and then you're gonna have to find the feats. So we are lucky. I think after the playtest, they did put in this section in the back. Because quartz watches regulate themselves with electricity, which was a major turning point in the wristwatch Ancestries. That's a really cool idea. I like that. Man, I need a watch. I never know what time it is. Thank you, Monty. Monty the Python. So like I was saying, this is the third place you're going to need to go to understand your dragons. And we do have these, like a little write-up here. So, okay, we got that. And it tells you the pages. But you gotta remember, if you are not familiar with the Dragon Ancestry Guide, there is an ancestry for the dragons. There are 2 different archetypes for the dragons as well. And if you see, it does not differentiate here. So for each dragon I make, I am going to provide the little cheat sheet. Okay. Dragon, there we go. Maybe I'll make this prettier, maybe, yeah, I'll just say maybe. Nope, that's the correct one. Thank you. This is the cheat sheet I just needed to make this work. Because I need to not only understand what is Ancestry, what is Ravager, what is Mage, but what is both. And the way they did both, again, I think they're trying to save space. There's so much stuff in here, is just listed at the beginning of the Mage section. Oh, these are also Ravager. And because they're going to talk about general spellcasting feats, it kind of makes sense. But it made it really hard to read. I'm like, oh, these are cool, but are they both? So which one do I build? Do I go antipodal? But antipodal isn't working in Path Builder. I didn't check today. I'll check again later, I promise. So this is just for Helen, me, Paper Ninja to understand. I'm laying out my dragons like this. We got the basics up there, but I need to know where these feats go. Interestingly enough, Time Dragon, not in the Magic, it turns out. Everything is a Ravager feat, but most of it's in the Ancestry. So, do not feel like that you need to double down on your Ancestry, either waste your class feats or realize, why am I not in a game with free Ancestry? And pick that. That said, in the spirit of Infinite Dragons, I still went with the archetype, because there's more than just your specific ones. Let's see. So let's go back to my handy dandy picker sheet, because I will look at it. You look at the dragon, because I forgot to take my notes out. Dragons are going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dragons are going to get 5 class feats, as everything does, and then I use the archetype to kind of build it out. You know what? I need to bring up the Scrolly-Doo wiki. There we go. We're back over here. And so we can talk about what the heck these things are. And I'm going to put it on the other side. I'm doing this on a laptop screen. I can't see everything going on. I want a desktop so bad. But that is not our problem for today. I'm going to take a chance and search for things. Because it's impossible to find everything in this huge, wonderful book. Also, hey, on this art too, it's beautiful. They really focused on it. You get the border here is amazing. I think it's done by the same person who done the Guns and Gears border too. And there's 2 pictures of every dragon. So let's give it up for the artists on this one too. Quality art on both of these products. Okay, read the threads. This is what I picked. Um, I'm really going to try to find these things that are specific to the dragon, but I'm not always going to pick them. Sometimes I think something's going to be a better choice. But yeah, how can you not pick this for the time dragon? Again, we are modifying initiative, and I know with the precog, we're messing with initiative too. Hey, maybe that dimension time lore is the skill that we're going to also use for our focal paradoxes. Just a possibility. I actually didn't go that way, and I'll explain that later because I'm ignoring the background. I stuck to be the peanut, to be the jelly between the pieces of bread that are these two. I'll go with jelly. Um, but yeah, it's like your time, your manipulative. You got to start with that. So I waited before bringing in Dragon Breath. It's so tough because it feels like, of course, you need to be Dragon Breath, but there's so many things a dragon can be. If you get all of them automatically, it's too powerful. But I feel like everybody's going to burn at least a feat on the Dragon Breath, or there's a Ravager feat that's got Breath of the Dragon. It's going to come in. So I waited till level 5 to bring in the Dragon Breath, but it's going to be there. And then I'm thinking, okay, we're manipulating time, we're doing stuff. I think Horde Deposit. Horde Deposit? Okay. Because I already said with our precog, hey, here's this item I totally forgot I brought to the party. And with Horde Deposit, I can just put stuff back in my horde. You put it in, you take it out. It went with the way I was designing this character. This might not be your choice for a Time Dragon precog. But I just like messing with the items here. Having that key thing and be able to move it around, it can be a surprising turn. Just at least one you're not expecting here. But let's not forget, a lot of dragons, yes, I should probably know the pattern by now, but I don't, have, can I not spell either? Slowing presence. Have these different auras or these different breath effects. I have a hard time turning down the auras. Just, I'm going to exude this and mess with you. Maybe it's not statistically the best thing. It's going to take me forever to try out all these dragons. It's just so neat. Yeah, if you come near me, time precog dragon, you gotta slow down. I mean, granted, you're gonna be immune to the effects for 1 minute, so in a battle, yeah, you're only gonna get one chance, but I mean, imagine if something's like chasing you, one of those things, or you're out, more in exploration mode and there's things coming after around you. It's you can really mess that up. Once per day, you're like, it doesn't matter, Helen. Level 17, alien presence just expands all of these to once per hour. So, I mean, it's another thing that you have to manage your dailies or hourlies or between 10 minutes. But I think it's worth it. I think this is really cool. Just the concept of come too close, I will slow you down. And then you use your precog part of now that you're slowed down, I'm going to mess you up by redoing all the rolls. I just thought this was so fun. So those are the ancestry feats, but like I said, we built an archetype for this person time dragon. So like I'm a writer, but I focused on the statistics for this. I had to fight really hard not to write a whole character concept and maybe a short story or at least a drabble because I have other writing assignments. But man, if I had all the time in the world, which might change on Monday, that would be something really cool. Okay, I'm gonna go over to our handy dandy picker. My choice view, I already went over those. Let's look at our Ravagers. Ravager is the more martial line dragon. Like I said, all the time dragon options were here. And, shoot, what were those again? I only have a billion of these pictures. Why did I not highlight these? Well, one of them is definitely the Temporal Breath. I think it might be the Bite of Opportunity. It's on this picture. I know it's on this picture. Sorry, I'm going back and forth. Yep, Bite of Opportunity and Temporal Breath. I will mark this better next time. I am learning things. Thank you for your patience. Okay, Ravager, we're going there. Breath of the Dragon, I talked about that. You're upgrading your breath. Hard not to want to go with that. Bite of Opportunity. This is one that several dragons get an option for, and I think this is fun. Bite of Opportunity. Spelling helps. Um, you know, it's like Attack of Opportunity, except you can make that not happen. On a critical hit, the trigger was a manipulate option, you disrupt the action. I know you gotta get to that crit first to make it happen, um, but still, if only I had something that helped manipulate my rolls to make it a better chance to land. Yeah, I have no idea. So, I think it's really cool. You're doing someone's winding up to do something really terrible. I'm just gonna bite you and stop that. So it works, I think, pretty well. I think that's why the Time Dragons got that. As you can see, there's several here. Bliss, Bronze, Crypt, Gold, Infernal, Occult, Red, Solar, Time, Umbral Drag. So there's some of these that are spread between a lot, which is why I know they couldn't say, these are the feats for this dragon. Still, you're gonna need a digital copy to search all this stuff. Um, I decided with this one to go with I went Ravager because again that's what we got. But let's have fun with those frenzies. Um, claw, claws and bites count as agile, I believe. Please say I got that right. I wrote this probably a week ago, and I've been too nervous to cast the whole time. Um, our unarmed attacks count as agile and finesse. I keep saying agile. What I mean is finesse. Gosh, I'm sorry, folks. Agile is multiple attack. Finesse is I can use my dex. So hey, if a dragon's weapons, natural weapons, are finesse, and dex is my main thing, and I'm a time, and I'm a precog, and dex is my main thing, it just keeps stacking on each other. So I went with kind of the frenzy line here. Gosh, if I type frenzy, it's gonna freak out, isn't it? Oh, only 11 pages of the frenzy. Draconic frenzy. Nope, that would be too easy. Stunning frenzy. It's hiding on one of these pages, isn't it? Draconic frenzy, right here. Let's start this tree off. You flurry of bows. Blows. You're gonna thrash and you're gonna strike a bunch of times with all your stuff. Okay, I get the book, get the path builder, read it. I can't read every feat out. Maybe I'll do better about that next time. But still, we get a base here, and we're just gonna improve on this over time. With this dragon, I then went with a stunning frenzy. I actually couldn't get all the frenzy things in because there's a lot of stuff we got to get done with this. Stunning, you get the chance to make them fort saves and they're stunned. Stunned, great. You love anything that can, knock somebody out. Like, I really love in Pathfinder too. It's not just about the hit points, not just about the spells and lingering. Well, lingering stuff's pretty cool. It's like there are so many, like the condition management in Pathfinder too. I think it's so cool. And yes, I might have little cards that help me manage that. But there's so many things that just give it that extra +1, -1. You're on the ground. Oh, these conditions stack on each other. It adds a really fun layer to this game. Temporal Breath. Let's get into our Time Dragon's main thing in the Ravager. Temporal Breath. Okay. Let me get rid of the search so it's bigger for you folks. That probably would make this easier, wouldn't it? 12th level, you're seeing a lot of these breaths come in at, I think, the 10 and 12 mark. As I look at more of them, I'll probably get the formula down or get closer to it, or ask Mark. Mark will... He's so generous, he'll talk about all of this. It's wonderful. Just roll for combat Discord. Let's see. Temporal Breath. You could... It makes it for the creature. It says no time has passed. They're flat. They're 1 round. That's not a success. But on a fail, they fall deep into time and returning at the beginning of your next turn. So they're flat, 1 round, sickened. Like nothing's. They weren't able to do anything in that crit fail. It's even longer. Taking somebody literally out of the fight. I mean, that's just so cool. It's worth, turning instead of electricity, I just make you disappear. That's going to be an easy choice to make, I think. Even if it's once per hour, who cares? That's so cool. Again, like I'm in Ruby Phoenix right now, so just imagine that, like each fight, you could just say bye to somebody. Temporal Breath. Why did I go with Draconic Reflexes? Was level 14 hard for me? Draconic Reflexes. Whenever. Oh! That's Blizzard. That's not the right thing. I was gonna say that didn't look right. Primeval Fire. Draconic Reflexes. No. Where are you hiding? Okay, there we go. At the start of each turn, when you regain your actions, you gain an additional react. Oh, yeah, that's like haste. That's right. That can only be used for certain things, like Bite of Opportunity. Okay, so it's only a few things, but still, I really was very interested in that ability of shut up, don't do that. It feels a little like a cat. Yeah, dragons and cats are kind of like each other. Read Enchanted Forest Chronicles. Cats don't care about dragons. It's like, stop that. I'm going to whap you. Don't do that. So that's a Bite of Opportunity. So a chance to do that again I thought was really neat. And again, like I said, with the Precog, you're going to manipulate those rolls probably anyways. I'm probably overthinking how many rolls you can manipulate, but just those options, just having that option in Synergy to do that, I thought was pretty cool. Aura of Fear, I think every dragon I make is probably at least going to consider Aura of Fear. I'm sorry, folks. Uh, it's a dragon. You're going to get messed up if you get too close to them. Frightened. And I know it's level 16. It's probably not going to matter as much, but just the fact, you're going to be scared if you get near. It's too fun to at least ignore. Lethal Claws. That probably upgrades something. And if I could spell lethal, that would probably help. Lethal Claws. Oh, Grievous Blows. When you're making a strike using unarmed claw attack, you critically succeed on a 19. You're succeeding on a 19. Instead of 20, you got 10 extra percent chance for the crit. You don't have to manipulate stuff as much. No, okay, yeah, anything to get you that crit's pretty cool. Because there's so many effects that are based on the crit, like that Bite of Opportunity. I'm just going to keep going back to that. And I'm never going to use it anytime soon. I don't think my Solar Magus does not have that. And Furious Momentum, I think that's like part of the end of the Frenzy chain, but let's just double check. Furious Moment. Oh gosh, where'd my head thing go? Hello, I'm back. You're not attacks gained from the dread. Well, forceful trade. Yeah, I guess this was as I was getting to capstones. Nothing was really like kind of sticking out to me. There's a few that based on a couple of dragons, heritage types do some cool stuff, but nothing really spoke to me as a time dragon. Okay, so those are our ancestry and our archetype. And I gotta say, I'm looking at this. I've babbled for 50 minutes. Okay, so I'm not going to go over all the rest, but let me talk at a high level about what I was thinking about this concept. I can't believe the astrology as a background didn't come to me at first, but it makes sense. I'm looking into the future. Now, I think astrology has a little bit, astrologer has a little bit of overlap with the charlatan if you look in there. But, imagine it. It's like the dragon I already can kind of see, precog see. Like, what if that's someone who's like really using those powers to kind of help people or just, reach into it? And then I was thinking about it, what drives these dragons to go the Lux Eterna ritual? I should really learn how to pronounce that correctly if I'm going to do a billion of these. So what if, this dragon saw something coming, something happening? And I know I should have used the Doom archetype, but Chronomancer was just not archetype, Doom Anchor. But still, just think about this dragon's trying to get into place to do something, to stop something, to manipulate something for good, or at least for selfish good of the dragon. So I kind of was looking at for under skill feats. I was looking at how can I be diplomatic? How can I, try to manipulate things? How can I do things? Or how could I? This is where it went into. This feels occulty, disturbing knowledge. A precognitive time dragon, I think, would have some very disturbing knowledge to scare folks. Again, I love fear. So this you can really kind of see this is built around some more of the diplomacy type things, Gladham group impression. Oh, that no cause for alarm at a low level, though. It's like, no cause. I know. It's going to be fine. How do you know? I'm a time precog. Either one of those could tell me it's going to be fine, or I could just lie, because it'll just make you feel better, at least. Um, and I used my general feats to just be more skill feats. God, folks, we just don't have enough general feats, and I get it. They're supposed to be cross-cutting, but, yeah. If there's a bounty board for stuff to put on Infinite, more general feats that make sense, please. I'm always at a loss what to take there other than I want some more speed or I want some more hit points. But in this case, this is a chance to pull in some of those other things, just, as we get stuff out, some recognition. I did some spell stuff here too, because you can't max out your skills as much. Oh yeah, folks, there is more to this sheet. I needed to figure out the whole skill progression and stuff. Oh, it's not showing on the thing. Oh, it is. I'm not going to bore you with what level I took that diplomacy boost. It was 11. But I needed to do all that to figure out the when you qualify for skills. Oh, Monty the Python. More general feats, you say? That's what I'm asking for, at least. Um, so if you got something cooking, would love to see it. Maybe I'll talk about it. If that helps. If it doesn't help, I won't then. But I'd love to see more general feats. So if you're doing it, I will definitely check it out. Um, but yeah. So that kind of rounded off the concept. This precog dragon battle, it's all about I'm making it easier to pull in more of those paradoxes. I'm going to get more rolls in. I'm going to be able to get more of them. I'm using a few spells to manipulate time, but as that time dragon, I got some breaths and some auras, and I'm just gonna keep biting you to stop doing what you want. And outside of battle, it's I'm going to use my knowledge to try to do something. I didn't do alignment. I don't know if it's good or bad, but this time precog is working towards something and using all their skill to see to get there. Um, so yeah, I think that's it. This is the uh, kind of fun little experiment I did. It's like, what if I took one of the dragons of the 45 heritages from Battlezoo Dragon Ancestry, and what if I took one of the great products on Infinite? So, James, thanks again for putting together this really fun class. And when I ever get a chance to play it, I will definitely give you a more formal playtest report. We never have enough games. If anybody wants to GM a game to have me test it, you can't see me holding up my thumbs. I'm sorry, I have no camera on me. But yeah, so where'd I go? Yeah, okay. So this was fun. This was a chance to look at these things, and then just talk about it. So if this was fun for you to listen or to hear about these products, let me know. I will take a look at other things. I am thinking about doing the Edict Dragon Ink Finder next, but could be convinced to do something else. I haven't started my research yet. This is something I'm actually just kind of doing and reading slowly. Will not have a set schedule. This will just be Helen looks at stuff in her free time, or when her son plays Kirby and she doesn't want to see every Kirby level again, stuff like that. So thank you very much for listening. I hope this was fun. I dropped let me drop the precog class back in again. The link to that, go tell James, it's super cool. And gosh, where do you get the I will put it in the YouTube the link to get the Draconic Ancestries, but I know it's in Path Builder if you use that, and it's going to be in Foundry soon. So if you want to look at just the crunch, those will be freely available, and I promise I will double check a formal link for that because I'll be talking about it. Well, 44 more dragons at some point. So thank you for your time, thank you for hanging out, and have a good one. Have fun, play more games. How do I stop the recording? uh, oh God, I told you I'd be learning everything. Okay, bye.